Yeah, man, thank you very much. I salute your courage for everything you've been doing. I respect you. You said something very striking. You said a country where in their constitution it was intentional. They didn't include anything referendum. They know one day a day like this will come. So they didn't include anything referendum in their constitution so that everybody will be calm in that slave camp. Nobody will have any option to want to leave. And what do we do? Like you said, should us fold our hands, our arms, and stay in the union that we're not supposed to be in? We have to do, like in your previous broadcast, you said, we have to make our own history. Other people have made their own history. We have to make our own history. Just like this referendum we're doing now. Russia conducted a referendum in the Donbas area, the Russian-speaking region in Ukraine. They already conducted their own referendum over there. Since the UN is playing politics, they don't want to conduct referendum in that region so that the Russian-speaking Russians can leave Ukraine. They conducted their own referendum. So we have to create our own history. If they say they are not okay with our own referendum, then let the UN come and conduct their own supervised referendum.
On why this referendum is very, very important, the most important thing in our life today is this self-referendum. We are making this history, and we will write this history by ourselves. We will make this history, write the history, tell the story by ourselves. What we are doing now is where there is nothing, we put something there. Biafrans are known for their innovative nature. A lot of history has been made by people, by human beings like you and I. Those histories become the foundation of many international law that guide the universe. Somebody has to take a bold step to make something out of nothing. Somebody has to get up and create something innovative and become innovative, create something, and it comes to existence. You don't sit down and begin to wait for people to bring solutions to your problem. We have waited for long. We have waited for ages. We have paid biggest price of one Nigeria. We have been killed, we have been murdered, we have been butchered by Nigeria-sponsored terrorists in uniforms. We have been annihilated almost by the Nigeria Islamic State. And all we do is to complain, and nobody cares about what happened to us. This has been ongoing for many decades and many ages. And each time you will complain and look for helper, and nobody comes. Today we have the solution. The worst part of this evil entity called Nigeria is that when you talk, they tell you, go to the National Assembly. When they know actually that Nigeria has been restructured, that National Assembly can never favor you. But ordinarily, it should be a place where the amendment to the law of Nigeria for the benefit of everybody who believes in Nigeria should have been. But because they know it is a very, very dangerous diversity and it has been restructured to favor the Islamic State, they will tell you, representative responsible, hold your politicians responsible. The politician they are telling you to hold responsible has been caged, and they knew how they have caged them. They tell you hold them responsible. Once you do that and they react in accordance to the will of the people, they will put one allegation on their head: corruption. And before you know it, the person will be struggling inside prison. Before you know it, everybody will desert the person. It has happened to many, many people, and those criminals that are now representing them in Biafra land has learned their lesson from what happened to others. So they are easily and ready to dance to their tone. And because they know that these criminals who call themselves politicians are ready to dance to their tone, they will always tell you, complain to them. When you complain to them, they want to preserve their status in Nigeria. They want to save their own dignity if they have any. They want to save their own wealth, ill-gotten wealth, and they will put everything aside. They tell you it is not possible. Only when they will be seeing what other people are doing in other regions. That is it, but it is not possible because they are not representing your interest. Another funny story they tell you is that, you're asking for a referendum. There is no referendum in Nigeria constitution, and you want to live without the possibility of referendum in your constitution. They say, you have people in the National Assembly, let somebody raise the emotion. They know that when somebody raises that emotion, the person will be assassinated. If he's not assassinated, they will render him useless. So nobody dare to raise such emotion in the National Assembly. They tell you, it is not in the Constitution. Why would you not have it in the Constitution? Because it was deliberate act, a deliberate act on the evil entity. But today, we have outsmarted them. The same Nigeria do not understand that in the Charter of Africa, is it the ECOWAS Charter also on human rights, the Article 21, gave that particular right for self-determination. And you can't have a self-determination when you do not have the opportunity for people to choose how they want to live their life with that particular article on self-determination. And because they know that a day will come when Nigerians, those who find themselves in Nigeria area, will be tired and sick. So they think that by removing referendum in constitution, they have outsmarted everybody. Come and do referendum now. Today, we are doing it and we have outsmarted them. And I want every one of you to understand that Biafra government is a legitimate government in exile. It didn't start from us. We are not the first people who have government in exile. The only thing is that we know the right of the government in exile. And that right is what we are exercising to the fullest. Many people don't understand the right of government in exile. We do. I personally understand the right of government in exile. And every right of government in exile, I am going to practice. I am going to make sure that that right is used for the interest of Biafra liberation. I will even invent another right on top of the government in exile, because Nigeria, as a complex country, a very dangerous country, requires a very complex solution. So what we are doing today, and what I am doing today as the Prime Minister of Biafra, is to make sure that I use every mechanism, both known to international law and those that nobody has ever used, to make sure that I dissolve Nigeria for the restoration of Biafra. And it is going to work. And after this mechanism have worked, Biafra have been declared, restored, many people who wish to have their freedom will also adopt this particular mechanism we are using today, and it will work for them. So when they tell you who have done it before, tell them, if nobody have done it before, we are doing it now. Ask them, have you seen a nation where there is no provision for people to have their democratic right? Have you seen any country where you have a constitution and they know a solution to a futuristic crisis, and they know that the solution could be to have a clause for referendum in the constitution, and they remove it? Tell them, have you seen a country like that? So we will devise a means of solution to our own peculiar problem which we are facing today. And that solution, we have found the solution, we've discovered the solution, and we are applying it to our problems, and it is solving it. It is very, very important that you participate in this referendum that is ongoing. We have had the sit at home for the past 2.5 years, and it will continue. We want to incorporate this sit at home to this referendum. It is gradual thing, step by step. We will tell these people that the brain of Biafrans and brain of those piloting this movement is ahead, 1,000 years ahead of them.